that hit the spot. Couldn't eat another bite. Yep, your pasta's the bomb. Thank you. Rose, I heard you were in quite the tight spot. Richard, this man here is the one who saved me. I'm Richard Mayugi. You have my gratitude as well. Mention it. I'm the one who got to show off in front of a girl after all. Name's Leo Shishigami. Thank you, Leo. I apologize for our bodyguards' lack of competence. Come on, Richard. You could have guessed there'd actually be that many of them. Who could have guessed? It's got to be Alfred and his goons behind this. We'll have to get them back for this one. Leo was really strong. As strong as Wayne. Anyway, Rose, you don't show a bit more restraint. We're in for a hard time. When I tell you to run away, please listen to me and go. Got it? Okay, sorry. It's all my fault. Tokyo sure turned into a hellhole. Sounds like you can't even go out for a walk without a bodyguard. These are the times we live in. There's no sign of trouble to be had. You truly have been helpful. We'll escort you back to your home. You don't have a home. Might as well head back to the repatriation office and lie down on one of those hard beds. Oh, that's right. Listen, Richard. He says he's been repatriated. Repatriated? One of those. It's either one of those. I actually know what it is. Some really terrible things happened and he wasn't able to get back into the country. And you must be shocked to see how much Tokyo's changed. Yeah. If you told me this was New York, I'd believe you. There's not even a trace of my home left. That's so sad. Oh, if I look around, I'll probably be able to find one or two people I knew who were still alive. And if they're all dead. Richard! Forgive me. I have the habit of always assuming the worst. Please don't take it the wrong way. Don't worry. Feel free to make fun of an optimist like me all you like. On April 1st, 1944, a vicious natural disaster ravaged all of Japan so thoroughly it brought an end to the war. Afterwards, under the name of humanitarian aid, American and Chinese allied forces occupied the country. With their national pride on the line, both America and China impatiently competed with each other to restore the battered land. As a result, Tokyo was swallowed up by the American and Chinese cultures and the large amount of immigrants, until only its name remained unchanged. My chances of finding anyone I once knew, much less my home, were practically non-existent. Still, might as well make searching for them my excuse to wander around for a bit. Let's take a little tour of this new post-war Tokyo. Leo rose to his feet. He's gotten all the delicious pasta he could eat, and he didn't feel like hanging around here any longer. I don't know if any of your friends are still around in Tokyo, Leo, but you and I are friends. It's an honor to be acquaintances with such a lovely young lady. Cyrus, escort this man to the repatriation office. You got it, boss. Look forward to traveling with you, partner. Thanks. To tell the truth, I don't know the way back. Ha! Lost little boy. Leo, thanks so much for saving me today. Thank you for giving me a chance to show off. If you find you have no one else to rely on, come and see me. I'm always around the club, so feel free to just drop by if you want. Rose, we don't know a thing about this guy. Stop it, Wayne. Leo is already my friend. Thanks, kind-hearted miss. If we meet again, let's have a drink together. Yes, it's a promise. Score? Easy? Fucking 30 minutes later? Getting some? I got my voice recorder and notepad ready and waited for Madame Jean to speak. I wondered what sort of scandals would escape her lips. I focused my mind and awaited her words. Do you like Tokyo as it is now? If I had to say whether I liked or disliked it, I'd probably say I liked it. What do you like about it? It's true there's a vast gap between the rich and the poor, but you can find both troubles and opportunities wherever you go. An interesting description. The city has a mix of many races and cultures in it. However, I believe all those people have an equal share of troubles and opportunities. I believe that combination of disorder and tolerance is what makes up Tokyo's charm and personality. I see. Madame John smiled faintly and seemed to be staring off into the distance. It seemed my answer had given rise to some deep emotions within her. At one time, the Japanese people lived in Japan, and that was that. However, the Japanese people are a minority. People my age are saddened by this fact, but young people like you treat it as a positive thing. This is how the times have changed. Now that this new Tokyo is considered the norm in 21st century Japan, post-war Japan that people like me grew up in has become practically meaningless and worthless. But despite that, because of that, I decided that speaking to you out was the right thing to do. Is that somehow related to the fact that I'm Japanese? Indeed it is. I wanted to leave my words behind with a Japanese individual. That's why I asked for a Japanese journalist. What would Madame Jean, a woman who lived through a period of turmoil following the war, want to leave behind for people like me, Japanese people living in the 21st century? What sort of country is Japan? What do the people who live there think? How do they live? Would you be so kind as to indulge an old lady in her tales of past times? Yes, it would be a pleasure. Such an interesting child. In that case, I might as well start from that time. 1947, Tokyo, City 23. Let's begin with the tale of that squalid town. Chapter 1, 1947, Primavera. Cool. So who is she? Like, I know she's not gonna be Rose, right? Because, I mean, she'd just be called fucking Rose. And not Jean. Interesting. I had no desire to spend another night on those hard beds at the repatriation office. I'd been given some money, but practically speaking, it was chicken feed. Unless I could find a place to sleep and a place to work, I'd be spending long nights in a back alley. Are you kidding me? An internment camp would be better than that. Doubt. At the repatriation office, they recommended that I join the army. Join the army again now that the war's finally over? I think not. Your necessities will all be taken care of, and once you've been discharged, there are re-employment programs available. I think I'd get better food fishing through dumpsters. Thanks. God damn it. As I went back outside, I was struck by the bright, yet not at all warming smile of the sun. The repatriation office lodging, with its strict rules, was hardly any better than prison. On the other hand, seeing my hometown utterly changed except for the sun, and the air was crueler than a harshly blowing wind. I wanted to find some proof that this was the place I grew up in. I'm getting melodramatic. What I really need is to find someone I know. That, and a job. If I don't make money, I'll be stuck without bread or a place to sleep. I opened up the map I'd gotten from the repatriation office. Okay, I better make sure I don't get lost today. No matter where I go, I won't have any contacts there. So no matter how much has changed in these parts, I've got to stick around. Oh, whoa, I can go to... Oh, why? Oh. The employment center at the... I can just go, like, random places. Holy shit. Afford a beat-up apartment, like they say, you gotta work to eat. Employment center at the occupying forces headquarters. The worker at the repatriation office told me to go here. They're probably going to try to recruit me to the army, aren't they? Let's go to the old town. Let's bum around for a while. So this is supposed to be my hometown. This used to be your typical good old Japanese working class town, lined with wooden row houses. And now, concrete buildings were crammed together in a line, and the road was filled with automobiles. Signs were all in English. Everything was done in Western style, inside and out. Even Urashima Toro didn't have it this bad. Whatever that means. The great disaster and the frenzied reconstruction by the occupying forces had removed every trace of what had been left here. Only the place name remained. Even that was written in English letters now. The road and cityscapes was changed in every way imaginable. I'd hoped to find at least one of the old shops still around, but how naive of me. I couldn't find any evidence that this was the city I'd grown up in, except for the English sign showing the name. Welcome. I used to live around here a while ago. How about you? I'm not from around here. Came from Shizuoka. Got a pretty long way, haven't you? After the Great Disaster, crowds of people were put into reconstruction camps by the occupying forces and forcibly relocated. I've wandered around in search of work and food, and here's where I ended up. Wonder what happened to the people who used to be living here. Who knows? Tokyo got hit pretty hard, after all. Seems that quite a lot of people got moved around at first, thanks to those confusing policies set up by the American and Chinese occupying forces. Have you heard of anyone who used to live in this area? Nope. I see. It's been a while, so I mean. You a repatriated soldier? Got stuck in an internment camp for a while. Finally managed to make it back. Seems like a different world to you, especially Tokyo. I keep waiting for someone to tell me it's all a joke. If you go to the countryside, there's supposed to still be some scenery that looks like Japan. I've heard plenty of stories about people moving out to the countryside. Still, doesn't sound like life's any better there. It's the town I was raised in. There's nowhere else I want to go. I see. Try to keep your spirits up. Tokyo's a different country now. City. But okay. You've got to accept that and move on. I don't think you'll find the Tokyo you're looking for anywhere around here. Maybe not. As drastic as it may have been, this may just be what happens when times change. Almost all the patrons in the bar were American. Even the Japanese people working at the bar conversed with them in clumsy English. The menu was all in English. The stares of the American guests bored into me. Sorry to bother you. Looks like this isn't the best place for a Japanese person to hang around in. You haven't any cute American girls? So I won't find the Tokyo I'm looking for anywhere around here. So sad. Let's go to the employment agency. Fuck the army. They can wait. No, that's something. At the employment agency, which the repatriation center people told me about, found a huge pack of gloomy-looking men gathered around the front gate. There were plenty of them inside the gates too, but the vast majority were on the outside. At the point, a truck came by and stopped. The men shuffled to their feet and gathered around it. What the hell? They giving out free chocolate or something? As the crowd of men raised their hands to the heavens, a man in the bed of the truck shouted in a loud voice. We're looking for help unloading cargo at the harbor. I need 20 sturdy men. No need for talking. 200 Japanese dollars for the day. The men swarmed forward, all pushing to get into the truck. The man in the truck glared at each of them, checking them over as they came on. Good, you two. Gramps, get out of the truck. Please let me come too. I know I'm strong enough. Get off it, Gramps. Let me on. Think you can cut in front of me, bastard? Get the hell off. Another truck came and it called out the same way. Sewer cleaning, 10 men needed. 150 Japanese dollars for the day. You're joking, right? At least make it 200. Sit around and wait for someone else then. And we're full. Wait, I didn't get picked yesterday either. Trade places with me, I beg you. Shut up, I'm as desperate as you are. Get your grimy hands off me. There was no guarantee that another truck would come. No matter what sort of low-paying job showed up, the men gathered around like the living dead. The truck left and the fight settled down, but there was no sign of another truck coming. It's all your fault, I didn't get that one. Every single time you. What the hell are you talking about, bastard? You want to settle this? Looks like there's violence in the air. Bye. I got the crowd that had finally developed into a brawl and entered the employment agency. Inside, there was another large group of people formed into a line. To my surprise, they weren't all Japanese. There were plenty of American and Chinese people, too. There are men's lines leading to the counter. Apparently, one was a line for Americans and another line for Chinese people. The walls were covered with what appeared to be job offering posters, but each and every one of them was in English or Chinese. I was totally lost. At the very end of the line of foreigners, a notice was posted. English speakers only, Chinese speakers only, everyday fluency required. Hold on a sec, this is Japan, isn't it? Japanese isn't good enough? I sympathize, but what can we do? There simply aren't many Japanese people rich enough to employ anybody. I see. So that's why people can only speak Japanese are crowded around outside the gate, looking for jobs as laborers. I resent their language of this language of ours. Why didn't Japan ever teach its kids Chinese or English? True. If we knew we'd lose the war, that's exactly what we should have done. I tried waiting in the massive line and asking the person behind the counter, but it was as I had expected. Almost all employers were American or Chinese. Naturally, they were looking for people who could understand their language. They weren't interested in Japanese people who couldn't speak either language. Shitty times. In the end, I went back outside without finding anything. A crowd of unemployed Japanese people was still standing there waiting for a truck to come in search of day laborers. So, be a day laborer or join the army. One or the other. Can I just work for Rose? I can do stuff for Rose. It had a grandiose name of General Headquarters of the Occupying Forces. It was basically the City Hall of City 23. City 23 was under the jurisdiction of the American Army. This area was filled with glaring American military police. One of them motioned with his chin towards a signpost handwritten in Japanese. Employment Center this way. As I went towards the indicated window, I was surrounded by heroic-looking portraits. You can join the U.S. Army. Wonderful benefits and wages await you. A thorough English training provided by people of Japanese descent also available. Even a permanent U.S. residency is possible. Notice what appeared to be a crowd of Japanese people listening to someone lecturing. The one giving this rousing lecture was apparently a person of Japanese descent wearing a U.S. Army uniform. Hey, if you learn English, you could get a job. Why should young people like you be forced to wait around forever for a chance to make a difference? The strength of young people like you is something we need now. Let's fight together to bring back stability in the Far East. A well-ordered lifestyle, healthy food, and of course, time for vacations as well. You don't even need to speak English. We'll get you started from square one. What do you say? Any of you feel like joining the United States Army and finding out whether you've got what it takes? A lot of them were young, hardly surprising. All the older men have been singing about the vicious Americans and British not so long ago. You couldn't expect them to alter their beliefs so quickly. When the officer asked this question, several hands went up. Is it true that we can get permanent residency in America? If you serve out your whole term, you'll get the right to apply for it. Will we get sent to the front lines right away? You won't be sent until you're ready to take care of yourself. We'll whip you into shape. I have questions about wages. Is it really okay we don't speak English? Looks like a lot of these guys are young people who would rather live in victorious America than in Japan in ruins. Then the U.S. Army is probably a pretty alluring prospect. The military is the sort of thing where, when you've learned about it once, you won't be tempted to join it again. These young people managed to avoid being enlisted in the past. It might not sound so bad though. A Japanese person or else person of Japanese descent wearing the U.S. Army uniform noticed me and came to talk. Thank you for joining up. You know, I can't speak English at all. I'm a pen. I am a pen. It is about all I know. We have a thorough English language course. English is the most logical and simple language in the world. Teach you in just 3 months. I think I won't. I've had enough experience with the military for my tastes. So you are thinking of enlisting? I came here looking for a different job. This is an employment center, isn't it? If you're looking for a different job, I recommend checking out the employment agency. Any other questions? Guess not. Excuse me. Mr. U.S. Soldier Man, is it really okay if we don't speak English? Yes, that's no problem. The instructor of Japanese descent will give you a full course. I don't have any special skills or anything like that, but they're gonna still feed me, right? Certainly. The U.S. Army guarantees all your basic necessities. Now you can get started by filling out this paperwork. Up at the corner, I could see young people signing all kinds of forms. Japan lost the war and was destroyed. Since that's a given, getting absorbed by the victor's country is one way to live. I guess the only ones not happy with that are old guys who can't get over their pride. I looked at the job offerings on the billboard. They all had ridiculously low wages, but seemed to be fairly long-term. And nearly all of them had, if nearly all of them hadn't had position filled stamped on them in red, I might have read each one of them seriously. All the remaining offers had a high bar set for them, with either specialized skills or a personal reference required. Sucks. As I left the office shrugging, a man walked over to me and started talking. Hey, mister, that's a very nice body you got there. Well, your Japanese is pretty good. You want something? That American army's no fun at all. Want to try the Chinese army? Are you a recruiter for the Chinese army? Everyone has a blast in the Chinese army. We Asians gotta protect Asia together. If you're interested, drop by the Chinese garrison in City 22. Everyone's nice there. What's going on in this era? Japanese men are only welcome at the army registration counter. And if you aren't happy with that, you can sleep in an alley and think things over all you like. So sad. Guess this is what it means for a country to be destroyed. Rose, hire me. I can be a bodyguard. I've been walking around all day, and I found nothing of what I was looking for. No proof that this was once my home, no jobs, no place to live. I saw a large group of unemployed Japanese people laying down in a back alley. They got fed emergency rice, crowd around for a chance to get jobs as day as laborers. All the while barely scraping by from day to day with their tiny wages. Everywhere you look, you see reality so sad and painful that it makes your head spin. Even if I just eat in this lane of food carts, I can hear them whether I want to or not. No good jobs again today. What are we supposed to do when everything's English this, Chinese that? Already sold off pretty much everything my family owns. There's nothing left. The factory stinks. They work you that hard. And they pay you with shit. Go ahead and quit whether you'd like. Whenever you'd like. They might hire me in your place. You know, I've been thinking about giving up and joining the army. Don't kid yourself. Them foreigners will just use you as cannon fodder. But I'd get 3 meals a day and a place to sleep. A friend of mine managed to escape from there. Sounds like it's pretty terrible. I mean, when you have no fucking options, you kind of have to. And they got me signed too. Here you go. Sorry for the wait. That'll be $30. When has Japanese currency been measured in dollars? I still haven't quite gotten my head around what's worth that. But I can tell that $30 Japanese dollars is way too much for pseudo-gruel. From what I've heard, the old Chinese currency is still circulating in the Chinese army cities. I got some money from the repatriation center, but that isn't likely to last long. At any rate, if I don't find a job, my new job will be sitting around waiting for work and emergency rice like these guys. I may be an optimist, but I can still calculate how many days I'll be able to eat with the money I have left. So you making money off this? You're kidding, right? Everything costs a fortune. Even I'm barely getting by day to day with my income. Still, there are a few people raking it in, even during times like these. Oh, what sort of people? Those damn women. They've been making a fortune seducing officers and foreign perverts. After all, while men have nothing to sell, women can make money by selling themselves. You act like that's a good thing. Yeah, they're sellouts. All of them. Japanese women making money by flirting with foreign men. It's not a rare sight to see them playing around luxuriously in an occupying forces car, wearing expensive clothing. And they've got some influence too. They spend money like it's water. I doubt they're out seducing foreign men because they want to. Anyway, a little makeup, some clothes, and you might not be so bad yourself. Damn it all. I can't take it. Give me another, boss. Swarm around day labor jobs to earn money like pocket change, to drown your worries and drink every day. It's no joke. This is Tokyo. This is what I'll become. So, you can't take it unless you drink. So sad. So sad. I tried filling up with cheap drink and talking tough, but only darkness lies before me. Should I go back to the repatriation office and lie down on the hard bed? If I'm not back before closing time, I'll be locked out. But then what should I do starting tomorrow? Seems I only have two choices. Do I join the crowd around the employment agency or join the army? Gotta do one or the other. Sorry, Rose. She said she'd be a friend. I'm knocking on her door. Take care of me. No, there's one more way. It's probably a bit too reckless for my own good. When I stepped in the dimly lit alley, my way was blocked in both directions by men in ragged coats. Dang, well, it's pretty easy to guess what you're here to do. If I don't feel like working and don't want to join the army, then I've got to do this business. You there, keep quiet. Put all your money on the ground and get lost. Those are some nice clothes you got. You can strip those off too. Gladly, but only if you promise to get down on all fours and carry them away in your mouth. Does this guy think we're chumps or something? Who cares? We can take this stuff after we beat him to a pulp. Well. What a hellhole Tokyo's become. Time to kick some ass. Easy money. Can I rob them and just take their shit? Fuck. There was a 7 up there. Easy. Give me all the money. Give me all the money. 7. One more. For good measure. 8. 8. Good money. Straight flush? Oh. 96% though. Good shit. Oh, I got an arrow. What? What's that rank mean? Oh, damn it. You think you're so tough. Are you done yet? I'm starving. Whoa, come on now. No guns, please. One of the men pulled a handgun out of his pocket. I can eat anything, but only when bullets aren't on the menu. Think you're so tough? No mercy for you, bastard. Dang. Here you go. I kicked a trash can sitting off onto the side of the alley, and the thugs were showered with rotten food. Wow. That's on the house. Now be good boys and share. Get back here, damn it. I'll kill you. Leo dashed away at random and managed to lose himself in the bustle of the main street. I don't want to get shot. Fuck that. Well, after all, City 23 was... No, Tokyo was a shady city all over. Desperate men with no jobs or money grew wild. Highway robbery and pickpocketers were a natural everyday thing. Even burglary and murder weren't uncommon. So while the occupying forces may have maintained public order, it certainly wasn't perfect. Maintain the public order? Is that what it said in your history books? Supposedly, the American-Chinese occupying forces thoroughly maintained the public order. And thanks to that, the period of chaos after the war was one of remarkably stability, even on a worldwide level. Ha ha ha! Madame John doubled over, laughing as though Julie had cracked a splendid joke. Ridiculous! The occupying forces didn't maintain the public order in the slightest. Didn't the American and Chinese compete with each other in restoring order, each hoping to add to their national prestige? Yes, that's true, they competed. Competed to get the best numbers on paper, that is. They never got involved in Japanese crimes. They weren't even involved. It's only natural that no crimes were reported. In City 23, no one would come to help unless the victim was an American. Sounds like it was a very troubled city. Yes, it was a troubled, terrible city. Even so, no matter how much everything changed around us, this was our home. We had to keep living here, even if it meant eating dirt.